Hey, you there. Thanks for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest, ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1's Northwestern player, and then zigzagging around their lineup, we have in the rig arsenal hit for Team 1, it is Nix. He is a UEF for this match in Batman Gray as a 1700. In lighter shred pink to his southeast, we have Team 1's Belleron. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1700. To his southwest, we have in Royal Blue Moistax. He is a UEF for this match as a 1200. In Chevy Crimson to his east is the Cyber player of Obli Cybrance. Going to probably call him Cybrance or Obli, one of those two parts of his name for short. I probably butchered it. I do apologize. He is a 2000 rated player. He's the highest rated player on Team 1. To the north, we have in Pac-Man Yellow, Yzma 98. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1200. And last but not least here, we have the Seraphim player of Snog in Orange to Color Orange as a 1900. So over Team 1 side of the map, they have 3 Seraphim, 2 UEF, 1 Cyber, and Team 1 lacks Aeon technology. Starting off with Team 2's regular side player, and then following the same kind of pattern we have in Snow White Fur as a Seraphim. He is a 1600. In Barbie Pink to his north, we have Psycho Ad as a UEF for this match as a 1700. To his northeast, we have in Light Oak Tan Gamer 9 XXX as a Cybern for this match in Light Oak Tan as a 1400. In Ruz to his west, we have the UEF player of Okpuck. He is a 2100. He is the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. And again, he is a UEF for this match. In Ruby Red to his south, we have another UEF for Team 2. It is BJ. He is in Ruby Red as a 1100. And last but not least here, wow, butchering that last part of there, we have in Imperial Gray, Yoji as a 2000 rated player as a UEF. And again, he is a UEF for this match. And for Team 2 side of the map, they have 4 UEF, 1 Seraphim, 1 Cybern. So Team 1 has 3 Seraphim, 2 UEF. Team 2 has 4 UEF and 1 Cyber and 1 Seraphim, which means for the entirety of this match, there are no Aeon players. Apologies to those loyal to the Princess. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless. And I will like to shout out, there was somebody who sent me this replay, so thank you so very much to them. I apologize for not remembering your name, but they sent me an email at strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com with this replay. There's no issues with it. So I'm very grateful for it, and hopefully everybody will enjoy it nonetheless. And take a look at the reclaim situation we have to scoop up, currently sitting at 10,000 mass in reclaim for these 12 players, which is a little bit under 1,000 mass, which isn't, again, a lot of mass, but it definitely will help get these players started out. And for Team 1 side of the map, this map doesn't really have a lot of reclaim, but it does have a lot of mass points, specifically the decent amount of groupings of mass points. There is a 5-star mix here position that Moistax is going after a Trimax position that most likely he will grab. To the far east situation, looking like it's going to be the northeastern corner here for Team 1. Over here, another Trimax and another Trimax. And this one definitely will be fought over. So far, it's going for Team 2. It's Gamer 9. But again, it's kind of hard to really cut them. I mean, it does look like that's Team 2's, but it's definitely going to be one of those hard-fought locations. I guess that's the mirror for Team 1 anyway. And in the middle, a couple of mixes to grab. Nothing too terribly condensed, but at least there's a decent amount of groupings to go after for both of these teams. And as everybody has seen at this point, there is a lot of water. There's nothing that runs the entire length of the match. There's a lot of pockets of water, but I would not be surprised to see some Salems walking around, some cruisers in the water, something like that. We already see a Cybern facility already online for Psychobat. He is a Cybern, the only one on Team 2, if I remember correctly. So, actually, no, he got technology gifted over from his teammate of Gamer 9, apologies. But the Cybern is next to him, so there's only one, to be fair. Anyway, We do see in the East, Team 2, his Gamer9 and Psychoad pushing in against their opponent of Snog. Snog is outnumbered 2-1, but luckily for him, his opponents are going west and east, not straight to his location. So that'll be definitely a sigh of relief for him. A couple of units being blitzed down there by Okpuck in the middle of the map, and Cybrand's trying to push him back. He's actually isolated his opponent from the rest of his forces, but there's really nothing out there for either player, so no real concern one way or the other in that regard. But Psychoad does not go west, he goes north, taking out a mech's going to grab it, and soon he'll probably notice that Sonic's comm is sitting there hanging out. Gun has been started for Yzma in the middle of Team 1's main kind of land incursion area. It's a nice little kill box there, so definitely probably would be beneficial to sit a little bit either not inside it, but outside it here or outside it there. The kill box is definitely not the best place to sit. We do see a gun starting here for Feathermound in the west, and we do see just still combat back and forth between Obli and Okpuck. Okpuck getting a little bit of assistance from his teammate of BJ, but not terribly much, just a little bit, just enough to assist. But he is getting assistance soon by two commanders, both BJ and Furfur coming in to assist. So it'll be huge for forcing out Obli from the middle of the map here. Gun has been started for Yoji in the west, and again, like I said, Gun is almost half done here for Velorone. In the east, T2 is online for Snog, using that hover tech to get his units to his comm sooner rather than later. There's Yenzing running around, and he's also grabbed this northeastern corner as well. T2 has been started for Gamer9 comm. We do see again it is a 3v1 Furfur pushing against Cybrand's, giving Okpuck a little bit of breathing room. His comm has dropped pretty close into the yellow reddish territory, so he has to be careful. It does look like Obli does get underneath the surface of the water, so he'll be protected for a little bit, but I would not be surprised to see Team 2 try to send out some Torp bombers to shove him out of said water. We do see Gun has been started here in the west here for Team 1's Moistak. So pretty much everybody besides in direct conflict going for an upgrade of some degree. We do see that Snog hasn't, I was going to say hasn't started his, but Psych has started his, so never mind. T2 again coming online here for Okpuck. Obli going for his gun, and BJ might go for a gun or something here shortly. Tries to get T1 mechs online, tries to keep it online, but there's a lot of Mantis nearby. And unfortunately, that mech does not pay for itself. It just was killed too fast. Furfur sitting here, just taking in the sights, trying to, again, just hang out and not really worry about it too much. He has two teammates nearby. He can always offer his assistance in one way or the other if he needs to. There's one unit that's going to stroll into range of another T1 tank from BJ. BJ's just perfectly happy just reclaiming and scooping up some veterancy, so he's going to get a nice little 2-1 punch there. Mantis does get taken out. Striker's perfectly fine. And Gun is almost done for Obli in the middle. Gun almost half done here for Psychoad. And T2 is done for Gamer9. He's producing some nice little T2 PD. There's actually a nice little T1 PD on this nice little cliffside here. Very much protected in this wall section. Unfortunately, that Cerberus PD that's being built is going to definitely outrange that T1 as it doesn't shoot at it for some reason. Anyway, it was for a brief moment and then stopped. Very, very strange. Anyway, in the west, we do see Yzma coming in to assist Obli with his gun upgrade, as well as, of course, repping up his hit points to boot as well. So trying to, again, keep his teammate online. Yoji being pushed by a couple of T1 tanks. Not really a huge threat. He does have gun on board. And now we see Velorone going to come in around that eastern side of that little mountain there to kind of try to hook maneuver around, possibly go after this position or just continue down southward and cutting any sort of reinforcements off from the main base of Yoji. We did see a region or started for Yzma, then canceled, and going for T2 instead. That's probably a better move to be able to establish a central position here for his team. We can kind of see an interesting development happen where Team 2 is decently strong on this eastern side, starting to fail on this western side, and in the middle, Team 1 is definitely in control. But of course, Team 2 did have, I was going to say, a third comm, but that comm disappeared. Furfur's comm is now back in his teammate's base of Okpuck, and he, unfortunately, is suffering some casualties here. That Okpuck, he has a couple of T2 PD online. I don't think they'll last very much longer. He's trying to build some T1s to assist, but I don't think he'll get that much out of it. He does build a T1, very interestingly enough. But there's a lot of units nearby. This is possibly a dead commander. He's getting some assistance from nearby T2 units. And now a Salem is in the water here, folks. Big boat, small pond. And we might see those legs come and stretch and get a nice little walk-in. T2 PD being established to deal with those naval units. And now Cybrance is now on the back foot here. Ogpuck still going for T1 PD. He could try to go for the kill, but of course he's dealing with a little bit of stealth nonsense, but he is having, of course, vision all over the top of him constantly. He only has 3,000 hit points remaining. He's got to get out of there. He might just go for the suicide here if he needs to, which I don't know who's going to go for what suicide, who, the Obli or Ogpuck, but 1,500 mass kill bomber, says Moistex. Apparently a bomber killed a lot of mass. Anyway, that's Cybrance trying to get out of range. 1,200 hit points remaining. 500, 400, 300. He's going to go down. And there he goes. First casualty of the game. 11 minutes. Definitely unfortunate. He had a lot going for him, but unfortunately he was stopped by Team 2's Ogbuck and BJ. And of course the Salem kind of disrupted a lot of his plans. So now it is a 5v6 in favor of the southern team of Team 2, with Team 1's Obli's base going to, well, switching a couple hands, but Valerone looks like he's going to be the recipient of that base. Valerone, speaking of which, has claimed this section of the map here. Nothing of value in terms of mexes, but it did take out a couple of some land factories. Yoji underneath constant pressure here. Where is that 1,500 bomber? Looks like that was possibly it, or maybe something else was, but this is not looking good for Team 2 on this western side. Like I said, it's their definitely weaker side. It's a 2v1 advantage in favor of Team 1, so I would not be surprised why he's suffering so much. And Yoji, he might just get killed because of pathfinding. Very unfortunate here. He's trying to make it to the water. Gets an overcharge in. Needs a couple more kills. He just needs one more. He gets the rank in veterancy. I think that might be enough to save him. That was very close. Muisnack's trying to close the distance and kill off the comm. Will he get underneath the surface? Yes, he will. 300 hit points remain. Very, very unfortunate for Team 1 and, well, for going for the kill. But Yoji is going to be walked down on this side of the beach over here. He's not going to be left alone. I would not be surprised if a bomber or two in terms of the T2 Torp variety comes in, tries to kill off that commander. But for now, he's staved off death. That was very, very close. And in the east, Team 2's player of Gamer9 killed off by Snog. Looks like a bunch of units came out and said hi. That is a death here for Team 2. It does drop the game down to a 5v5, which is what Team 1 wanted, but they probably wanted Yoji out more than Gamer9, but they still got a kill nonetheless. T1 Sonar trying to catch this of Yoshi. Look at this. He's still running. He just cannot escape some ASF's fight over top. They're trying to keep Yoji in this game, but I don't think he's long for this world. T2 and Gun on board of Velarone and Gun on board of Yoji. Repping up 22 hit points versus 20 hit points, but that's almost a fully repped up commander. We do see T2 coming online here for Psychoed in the northeast. It looks like he gained control of his teammates' base of Gamer9, which is definitely fitting because he's Cybran, or at least Gamer9 was. And there goes Yoji. It was only a matter of time. He actually controlled K's. He saw the Torp bombers inbound. It wasn't going to make a difference at that point. It was either death by torpedo launcher or death by bomber. So he just went, nope, see ya, bye, and called it a day, which is now a 4v5 in favor of the northern team of Team 1. And now we have it. There they are. Those walking, nasty little breaking the fourth wall, water nonsense units of the Salem variety. Lots of hovertech units, both flak and otherwise over here. Just, again, kind of clogging up that bay up there to the north. Or that pond, I should say. That's not really a bay. But Team 2 and Team 1, both of them have suffered losses before 15 minutes. And it does look like Ogpuck will gain control of Yoji's old base. So he has two bases now. And he has a left side, or front, not front side, but a west side that's crumbling now. Team 1 is putting a lot of pressure on Team 2 on this western side. They need to do something about this. or it is not going to take much more to push in and take out a base, or maybe even two. So a lot more attention is going to be diverted over here just to keep Team 1 at bay. In the northeast, Team 1's Sog still holding position, though, quite surprisingly, due to the fact that there are Salems, of course. Well, they were over here. Where'd they go? They're still hiding. Okay, they're right there. They're hiding from me, not to say hiding from anybody else. They could easily move in to go to this position, which looks like that's what they're doing. Unfortunately, there are a little bit of some terrain issues for that artillery to go over. So it looks like Team 1 Snog will be sheltered at least for a little bit from that. We do see a nice little tactical missile launcher. It gets online and stays online, but there are more Riptides inbound. I don't think that missile launcher will have much to say for it besides maybe launching one missile. There it goes. Missile is away. And what is it going for? It looks like it's going for a T2 mech that's ringed over here to the east. Did Team D get built in time? There is a Team D. Is it in range? One shot. Two shots. Saves the mechs. Takes out the tactical missile launcher. And that is the end of that. Great move there here by Akbak, just getting that in just barely. And we do see that Salem is now bombarding the T2 land facilities up here to the northeast. Lots of Ilshis inbound, but there are also a couple of spam units to try to distract them to allow these Salems to deal with them. The Salems do put out a decent amount of damage, so those Ilshis are being ripped apart decently quickly, but there are some more Yenzine over here, as well as... Actually, those no Yenzine, excuse me. Those are those T2 missile launchers, or mobile missile launchers. But unfortunately, the Ilshis are actually catching up to those the Salems. Wow, the brain is not working today. And the Bricks moving in to assist. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ilshis focus on the Salems instead, but it might be Snog is elsewhere microing other things. In the southwest, Team 1 is pushed back, but they have now control of the entire western edge of the map. Look at that. I'd say about 25% in terms of going from left to right is owned by Team 1 at a minimum. So Team 1 in control of the map in terms of the percentage. You do see a couple of bricks on the shoreline, and BJ tries to reclaim them. Very interesting move there. Overcharge comes out, takes out both of them. Nice job by BJ. That was a nice little bit of mass kill there. Of course, now he's at 4-star veterancy. I don't know if he got to 4 because of that, but, I mean, that's a decent chunk of mass. So wouldn't have not been helpful at the minimum. Gamer 9 points out that there's a comm over here. This for Snog. Gamer 9 still in the game, even though he's dead and beyond the grave. He's helping out his team the best way he knows that he can, or the only way he can at this point, I guess, is with his voice from beyond the mortal realm. We do see a lot of T1 PD being established over here to try to stem the bleeding over here, but there's a lot of Titans leading the charge of this mainly T1, T2 force. I do see more Titans. No Percys yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Team 1's Mui build some Percys here pretty shortly, just because he's essentially in that more rapid response nature instead of just raw damage kind of nature. Large group of Team 1 bombers inbound from Yzma. I don't know where he's going with it. A decent amount of ASFs protecting that gunship. They may be going after the comm of Akbuk, but he has a lot of mobile shielding, that's for sure. And some flak, but not a lot. Those units are invading Akbuk's base down here to the south. Lots of Team 1 PD trying to stem the bleeding, but these Titans and Riptides just continuing to push. They are taking heavy losses, but they are starting to chip away at that defense, as well as, of course, break through defenses and go for other not protected structures, that being this one for BJ. There's a brick down the middle here for Team 1's Velarone. There's just there's just bleeding everywhere on this western side for Team 1. Sorry, on Team 2 because of Team 1. And that's really going to cause a lot of havoc. BJ still trying to help and stem the bleeding. Percy outbound from Akbak will definitely help with that. And some Titans now going after some T2 mexes. There are 5 of them right here. I think they'll get at least 2, if not maybe a third. But that's at least 18 mass a second that Team 2's BJ is not going to enjoy anymore, unfortunately for him. But fortunate for Team 1, not for Team 2. Couple of bricks down the middle here for Team 2. Psycho at kind of cutting off any sort of reinforcements for Yzma for this base over here. It's gone. There's no hopes of that coming back. So while one front is falling, another front is succeeding for Team 2. Lots of Herbatech units as well as some bricks inbound from Veleron coming across this little pond here. Percy's able to shoot at said units, at least hovering, but there's a couple of bricks that are going to come say hi, and those Percys are going to wish that they saved those shots for those bricks. Here they come. They are inbound. And there goes the blitzing down of said brick. There's one. One Percy will die, at least at a minimum. There's a Riptide helping, trying to do the best it can there. Percy's actually still alive, surprisingly enough. That second brick is down, and that third brick is down. Wow, none of those Percys died in that engagement. Very, very nice for Team 2. Keep hearing explosions and feel like that's a calm dying. But missile outbound from Team 1 Snog going after a lot of mexes. Killed off 5 mexes for Team 2's Psycho Ed. That's a chunk of mass gone. Those are probably at least T2 at a minimum. So that is 9 times 5. That is 45 mass per second that he's not getting anymore. And looks like the T2 facility is going down due to that missile, and he's of course dealing with an incoming threat from Snog as well. So attack on 2 fronts for the missile variety and the actual like land variety. Not going good here for Team 1, for Team 2. I keep saying Team 1 for some reason on that eastern side. Couple of Percys again, settling some deaths over there. And now we see some ASFs of course guarding those gunships. And the air situation here for both teams looks pretty similar. Furfur sitting at 22 with 3 gunships. Nyx sitting at only 9, very interestingly enough. So possibly there was an air fight earlier on, and Team 2 just won the day. But at least at the minimum, Team 2 isn't ahead that much if you're rooting for Team 1. I mean, it's a little bit, but it's not 50, 60, 70 ASFs. It's, you know, a couple dozen or so. It's not too bad. But at 22 minutes, 22 seconds to take a look at the game overall, Team 1 has lost 1 player, that being Obli. Again, I'm not probably going to be able to say his full name. Obli Cybrands, maybe, is how you say it. Probably butchered it still. There we go. Team 2 has lost Gamer9, XXX, and Yoji, meaning that it is a 5v4 in favor of the northern team of Team 1. Team 1, though, even though they're not doing so well in the air game, man, are they doing well in the mass game. 1.2k mass income for Team 1 and 800 roughly for Team 2. So that is a 400 plus mass advantage per second. A huge amount of mass to be up. And that's partly driven the fact by just the whole ton of map control that they have. Either they're occupying Team 2 side of the map, or they're denying mexes on Team 2 side of the map, which means Team 2 can't produce, at least as of right now, as much mass as Team 1 naturally just based on the map. So that is a huge advantage that they're enjoying so far, and they're also enjoying a Monkey Lord down the middle. So let me know down in the comments who you think is going to win this game, or if this Monkey Lord is going to do a lot of damage. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please, I really would enjoy it, really would appreciate it if you would like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so very much. I recently hit over 1,700 subs on the channel, so again, thank you to every single one of you who contributes to that, and who continues to contribute to that. Thank you so very much. And we do see down the middle here, this Monkey Lord continue to just push and push and push, not letting anything get past him. Unfortunately, there's a group of Percys inbound, and as we know with this game, those Percys are just the enemy of any sort of T4 experimental, and that monkey's like, nope, don't get near me. Those parashields are moving in to assist the Percys, and that's going to be a good thing for Team 2, bad thing for Team 1. We have some still call-outs for ring mexes here for Gamer9, say, hey, those mexes need to be ringed. Just be aware of that kind of thing. I do love that assistance not being very over, like, you got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, but it's like, hey, there's some mexes that need to be ringed. Hey, there's this thing over there. Hey, there's this thing over there, and just kind of constantly, not necessarily tell with a player what to do, but just as a reminder, hey, there's this thing that you probably should look out for, kind of thing. Which is definitely appreciated because there's a lot going on in this game, of course, and if you can get a little bit of that mental load off, it can do wonders for performance. We do see some bricks where torpedoes on board, but there are some Salems in the same boat with that Monkey Lord, and they're blitzing that HP down a little bit slowly, but they are doing it nonetheless. There are some Percy's moving in to intercept, but unfortunately the monkey outmaneuvers them and goes after the main base for Akpuck. The Fat Boy is done for Akpuck in his base. Will definitely help out a little bit, but some damage will be done to the base, unfortunately. Monkey Lord will drop pretty low very quickly and will kill off the T2 mech with its death, but essentially delivered some mass to Akpuck's door, which he will definitely appreciate from his opponent of Velarone. We do see in the south again the situation not looking great here for Team 2's western side. Akpuck, of course, is over here, and he's lost multiple mexes, 5 of them in fact, as well as another one over there and another one over there, so 7 mexes so far. Let's say they were T2 fully ringed at 63 mass a second. He is not getting the lead here for Team 1 and Team 2, staying roughly about the same in terms of distance between the two teams, but it looks like it's starting to peel away a little bit for Team 1. Especially looks like power situations might not be the best situation, or reclaim, whatever the case may be. Looks like the power situation was fixed right there for Psycho Ed. But a Fat Boy in the middle will definitely help keep Team 1 at bay, at least in the middle. Unfortunately, the southwest is not looking good. And here we go in the northeast. Team 1, Snog still holding position, losing facilities, but probably just reclaiming them himself. And still hasn't been overrun yet, which is partly due to the fact I think that Gamer 9 was killed off, so it definitely kind of took a lot of the pressure off of Snog's position. But he'll keep that on his side of the map for the time being. And just as a comparison, Team 1 owns everything pretty much up to here on Team 2's side of the map. So this entire northeastern corner, if things were quote-unquote even, would be owned by Team 2 at this point. We're seeing some ASF build up here now for Nyx once again. There is another experimental. It is a Fat Boy. I mean, with I think there was 6 UEF players. We had 4 on Team 2 and 2 on Team 1. So yeah, it was 6 of the 12 were UEF. We're going to see a Fat Boy or 2, if not a bunch of them. And we will see, of course, the lovely, the amazing, the best T3 unit in the game, the Percy, all over the map. As we, of course, already demonstrated earlier on. They didn't get to show their full prowess on the game side of things, just because the Monkey Lord kind of outmaneuvered them. But, of course, for those who know, they know. And for those who don't know, well, you'll find out soon enough. Fat Boy able to actually arc its shots around, or I should say over this plateau, and take out the shield emitter. There's a couple of Gunthers nearby, which he would love to take out. He's just receiving shot after shot. Here come those Percys and those bricks. Fat Boy turns around and starts firing on those bricks. The Fat Boy definitely needs more shields. Got to build shields on board. That back of the Fat Boy, it's like a turtle. It's slow, but you can house a bunch of stuff on top of it. Or at least in this case, build a bunch of stuff on top of it. Bricks and the Percy's getting into it, but you can see the bricks just not doing super well. Their main target is, of course, the Fat Boy, so they're a little bit distracted because of that. And there's a new Fat Boy on the scene, of course, from Team 1's Mui, so even though those bricks are going to go down, they're going to inflict heavy damage to that Fat Boy, at least the shielding. And, of course, the Percys that are trying to guard it the best they can. Percys are just going to be wiped out, and it's not a good day for that Fat Boy if the one from Team 1 comes into range. Fat Boy Factory reclaim this, says Obley. To essentially get some engineers on the field and start reclaiming, essentially, is the idea. Couple of Percys now guarding this little choke point here for Team 2, making sure that Team 1 doesn't invade once again. I still love the fact that there's just one torpedo launcher hanging out down there, and I probably will stay there the entire game. Nuke, says Yzma. Team 2 does have a nuke. It is owned and operated and soon to be launched by Furfur. The air player definitely makes sense. In terms of the air player, definitely are the ones that go for those artillery, game ender, nukes, those things in this game. It isn't the case in every game, of course, but in a lot of games, that's usually the one that drives the in-game scenario. We do see in the middle Chicken, B Monkey, but he has a host of Salem's nearby, and that Chicken is D-E-D. It is dead on the scene, and that'll be a nice little bit of reclaim for Team 2 to scoop up if they can get out of range of that Ion Storm. It does look like one Salem did bite the dust, but Team 2 Psycho Ed deploying those Salems quite well. Missiles outbound. Looks like it was trying to snipe the Monkey, but it moved, so definitely unfortunate there. Another group of missiles is outbound. Will it get the Monkey this time? Oh, he gets the monkey. Great snipe by Yzma. He took the opportunity and he got it. Great job for him. Of course, it would still be scooped up by Team 2, but it is an experimental that they don't have to worry about for the time being. Wrong, says Bellarone. What is the name of SMD? Talking about don't worry about SMD at this point. Is that what he's getting at? Well, Team 2 has a nuke, and it's already half loaded. So I get the idea is even if you built the SMD now, you're probably not going to load it fast enough, which I get the sentiment behind that. But you should still have an SMD somewhere. There is one right next door, which is half loaded. So now it's going to be a race to see who can launch and load a nuke or load an SMD. Fat Boy underneath, Fat Boy fire from Team 2. There's 2 of them for Team 2, 1 of them for Team 1. And the Salem push is commencing. And it is not looking good for that choke point for Team 1. They are inbound. And this is not a good day for those Seraphim shields. They are, of course, the best in the game. But, of course, they only last so long. Fat Boy is... Not Fat Boy. That's a Monkey Lord back there. Is hanging out underneath the shields. But that nuke is launched. Does look like there was a dumping going on back there, but guess not. Where is it going is the question. Actually, excuse me, nuke launched by Team 1, not by Team 2. Launched outbound from Moistax. I thought that was Team 2's nuke. Apologies. Okpuk is getting the heck out of Dodge. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a part of his base. And he should be fine. Oh, the nuke is continuing to go and go and go. Will it go the distance? Yes, it will. This nuke for Team 2 isn't going to launch in time. Oh, and it's a counter nuking from Team 1. Oh, no. And it was almost done. 95% probably. Kaboom! Oh, that is rough. That is rough. Ouch. Oh. That's got to leave a sting. How much mass did it kill off? I'm going to guess about 80,000. Oh, 68. Okay, I was a little bit over there. But still, 68,000 mass. That's a really, really good nuke. And it took out Team 2's nuke. That was almost going to be loaded. That was very, very close. We have Monkey Lord going after some Salems. That's not going to be fun for those Salems. The Fat Boy coming in to assist will kill off the Monkey Lord for Team 1. But the Chicken, unfortunately, will finish the job that the Monkey Lord tried to do. And now we see, of course, Fat Boy pressure still mounting here for Mui in the northeast. Snog still keeping control of this northeastern corner, and now he has an experimental Chicken inbound. And Psychoad is fleeing for his life, trying to get out of range of said Chicken. Chicken is losing hit points quite quickly, but of course, there is some awesome support, as well as, of course, that Chicken is about to get some veterancy, so 10% more hit points for him at a minimum. Chicken here for Team 1's. Yzma still rampaging the rest of those Salems that were on the land side of things. And Okpuk has 3 Fat Boys online. Not looking good here for Team 1 on the land mobile artillery game. But looks like Okpuk doesn't have shielding, which is not great. Because you got to have shielding for those Fat Boys, or what are you doing? That's a majority of the hit points for the Fat Boy is the shield. Essentially 20,000 out of the 32,000. Hit points are just non-existent without the shield. Air fight over the top of the Chicken here from Team 1. The Chicken does go down for Snog, but the air fight gets won by Team 1. So now it's a role reversal where Team 2 was in air control for a little bit. Now Team 1 is in air control. And now we have more gunships just trying to flee, get some damage done. They probably will get the Chicken. It's going to be close. Oh, are they going to get it? Oh, those ASFs don't actually stay there to go after the rest of those gunships, which means Team 2's remaining gunships will kill off the Chicken. A little bit unfortunate, but the Chicken was essentially almost dead anyways. But the point being that it probably could have gone home, been control K'd, and then been scooped up for mass kind of thing, versus it's now on the middle of the map. 33 minutes on the clock here, and Team 2, I mean, that loss in the air is huge, especially with the nuke. Team 1, of course, still has their own nuke, and it's about to be loaded once again. Do they have any sort of craftier plays in the northeast? No. Okay, I scratched that. Team 1 building a Yolana Os at 33 minutes. Yzma decided to end the game with a big nuke, so we'll see if that big nuke finishes or not. Team 2, do you have any ideas on how to end the game? I didn't see any as of right now. SMD over here is about to be loaded, but it's not going to save BJ's base. That's going to be a second base nuked by Team 1. This one's more central, so the entire base will be gone rather than just a section of it and the nuke being gone for Furfur. So while he did take a lot of damage in terms of the mass he spent to build nuke and try to load nuke, he kept a decent chunk of his air grid. This case, unfortunately for BJ, that is going to be possibly a... No, he should be fine. Kaboom! He does get sins a little bit, but it's not terrible. He does keep a couple of those mexes, but everything else is gone. Yeah, Obley talking about how it was clipped the SMD. The SMD just loaded, so as a reference, it did clip the SMD coverage, it looks like, even if it was loaded. So definitely unfortunate for Team 2. But now Team 1 has a third nuke that they're loading as we speak. 104 mass kill total with those 2 nukes. So averaging 50,000 mass, really, really good. Really good nukes for Team 1's Moistacks. Fat Boy trying to pressure against 3 Fat Boys, but there are bricks inbound. Percy's coming in to assist, so while Team 1 is struggling in the air game and the nuke game, they're doing a decent job on the land situation. But there are bricks inbound. Percy's trying to hastily catch up to said Fat Boys to protect said Fat Boys. But nah, it's going to be close. I think Oddpuck's going to lose this Fat Boy. He may... I was going to say he just needs to get it east a little bit because it looks like Team 1's is retreating. Team 1 almost lost theirs, and now there's a crab on station for Team 2 and for Team 1, but that one's almost dead. It doesn't help, of course, that we have a lightish red pink player and a Barbie pink player in the same position, essentially in the same territory on the map. So on a quick glance, it looks the same. I wish there was a whole, like, oh, all the pink players, all the blue players on this team, and then all the orange players or whatever on this team kind of thing. Makes it easier to track. But no, that's not how FAF players do it, and it's just a thing that a caster, of course, like myself, has to just deal with. And there's a lot of Salem Fire still in the water. Psychoad's still developing that method. T2 is going to be all that he sticks with. He's producing his own Fat Boys as well, not going to T3, which we did build battleships. They'd be stuck in this pond. They would do a decent amount, to be fair, but now Team 1's getting in on the big boat, small pond game and going for, I mean, I was surprised. That's a battleship, but he's loading the nuke on the battleship. He's building some cruisers that have missile capabilities to annoy Psychoad at the same time. So maybe we'll see the nuke be deployed against this position. There is an SMD. It is already half loaded, so I highly doubt it'll be successfully deployed, but it could be deployed over here for this another group of core mass for Team 2. Psychoad builds another experimental. Is it not the Fat Boy? No, it is not. It is another crab. Bellarone builds an experimental. Is it another crab? Yes, it is. And how is that YOLO going? It's already at 25%, 36 minutes, so about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes or so, and 25% is done. So based on that timing, we'd say about, I'd say 3 minutes for each quarter percentage, so another 9 minutes or so. We should see it deployed unless more build power comes to assist with that. Gunships are inbound. Oddpuck is exposed. He has a shield on board, but that could be a dead commander. Oh, that is not great for him. He needs to get out of there immediately, but unfortunately the gunships are already on top of him. This will be a fast blitz down. ASF's trying to help. Will it save the commander? I don't think so. There he goes. Oddpuck actually control K's there. I don't think the gunships actually got the... No. They didn't get the kill. They tried to do as much damage with the ASFs. SMDs are targeted. The gunships, of course, can get underneath the shield coverage of the T3 shielding and is able to deal with that quite quickly. And then go after the Pigeon. That's a nice grab. We'll take out a shield as well and an AA. Gunships, definitely worth the price of admission for that. Took out a comm, took out an SMD. A Pigeon's a nice little, afterthought. But that was a lot of damage done to Team 2. It is now a 5v3 game in favor of the northern team of Team 1. We have a crab just sitting there taking missile fire. That's probably not the best idea to sit your megalith in range of some cruiser fire. Not the best idea, but now we see that there's a fourth Fat Boy online, now under the control of Psychoad. He's going to have a fifth one here shortly, the one he's building down there in the pond. And that crab is going to die to missile fire. It's going to move, but I don't think it'll move fast enough. 5,000 hit points, 3,000 hit points, 2,000 hit points, 1,000 hit points. Oh, it's going to try to bob and weave, but I think its time is over. There it goes. destroyed by cruise and missile fire. And how is this nuke going? It's almost done for another loading as well. Team 2 does not have a... Oh, they do have a secondary nuke that was just built. And they are rushing that loading as we speak. Another Fat Boy is done for Team 2. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Fat Boys soon. As soon being... now. I was trying to wait to like say now a little bit faster than I expected to, but it was just, is he going to finish? Is he going to finish? And an experimental is done for Psychoed. Man, he is pumping those things out. Almost 1,000 mass being produced by him. But unfortunately for him, it's not enough to catch up to Team 1's overall 2.6k mass income versus Team 2's 1.6k. 1,000 mass differential, but here we come. There comes the Fat Boy pressure. It's coming home to roost, and unfortunately for Team 1, 2 Fat Boys go down instantaneously. A third Fat Boy might actually just go down on top of the old wrecks, which are being destroyed as we speak. There goes that Fat Boy. Nuke is launched from Team 1's. Moistax did the SMD load in time. No, it did not, so that base, once owned by Akbuk, is now gone. Well, I should say soon to be gone, and a Fat Boy as well will be gone as it traverses to meet up with its brother. And very, very unfortunate. Crab picks, or not picks, but kind of pokes its head out of the water. Percy's now going to come into range of said Crab if they can target it for some reason. Those are definitely in range. What is going on with this? Does Team 2 not see that? No, Team 2 can see that. They're just not launching the unit, which is very strange. Well, that's one Fat Boy that's going down. That's very, very strange. Anyway, kaboom! That base is gone to the annals of history. Another nuke is outbound from the battleship nuke here from Team 1's Snog, and there it goes. It's going to land. SMD looks like it was taken out. Kaboom! That base is gone. Team 2 is on the receiving end of some nasty fire. And now the Percys are targeting that Crab. Very strange that they walked a lot closer to it and just were not targeting it for some reason. But anyways, Team 2 still retains 4 of those 6 Fat Boys. The other one looks like it died right here somewhere. The mass got incinerated. And in the southwest, Team 2 has actually fought back quite nicely due to the efforts of BJ and pushing it on this western side. But Team 1 still holding on to a lot of territory. And, of course, that YOLO is now over the 50% mark, 40 minutes on the clock. If Team 1 finishes that YOLO, that's game right there. Team 2 does not have adequate defenses to deal with that YOLO, even if they've even spotted it at this point, which they have not. They have not spotted it. Pigeons do not assist. Oh, do they assist the YOLO? I think they do. I can't remember. I know they assist the Mavor for sure. I don't remember if they assist the YOLO. If it finishes, I'll take a look at that and see if that's correct or not. But I think no. But I could be wrong. It is, I guess, a nuke launcher, so yes. But anyway. We have a decent amount of those Percys still sitting in the middle of the map here with a bunch of Percys here from Team 1 just receiving fire after shot from all these Fat Boys. Fat Boys producing units on their back. Looks like they're Cougars to deal with Team 1's AA. No more gunships for Team 1, I think, is the idea at this point. T3 being built on board Moistax Commander in the southwest. Definitely would not expect to see it calm down there. And lots of ASF just hanging out to the north. I think at this point, the game is starting to slow down a little bit. Team 1, 1.5k mass advantage per second. It is 2.8 versus 1.3. That group of mixes is gone as well. Lots of units running around. And there is the satellite. I was waiting for it to appear in the game, and there it is. There's, of course, a monkey and a crab in the water for Team 1's Velarone. Really causing some havoc. I don't think that crab will do maybe it'll do a lot of work. They're building some AA. That's not going to help against a unit in the water. We have a group of Fat Boys going to be shot at by some nukes, and those Fat Boys, some of them are moving, some of them are not moving. Ooh, that's not good for Team 2. That's not good. Those units aren't moving. Team 1's going to get a nice kill here. Oh, will it clip all 4? It'll get at least 3 of them. It'll get 4. Kaboom! Kaboom! And Team 2's player of a Psycho Ad control case at that point. 276,000 mass killed with the nuke. That is correct. Then that was a lot of mass killed with that 4 Fat Boy kill. And that is not going to be good. Once the YOLO comes online, that is game right there, set and match. Team 2's just too far behind at this point. 2.9k versus 1.3k. And 2 players remain. We have a Moleculoid in the base ripping apart the everything in it. We have a Crab going after the T2 naval headquarters here for Team 2. Fur control case, leaving BJ alone to stand against the tide of Team 1. Yeah, MVP, strategic missile launcher, that is for sure there. That did more damage than... there was a lot of damage done by other units and stuff, but the main damage was done by the nuke. And, of course, glory to the princess, but there's no Aeons in this game. There are no Aeons. There's a secret Aeon here somewhere. The YOLO is now completed, and yes, it does get adjacency. Look at that. For some reason I thought it didn't, but I was wrong. I don't even think the YOLO's going to fire, and even if it does at this point, I don't think it, like I said, it doesn't matter. Team 2's BJ is just bleeding on the east and the middle. He's doing pretty well on the southwest as well, but it's not going to do that much at this point. Billy Nuke being built here by Moistax. Bombing my stuff. Come on, Nix, is what he says. What? What? Where? Me no see. Oh, there's an Alpha sub bomber over here hanging out. Now it's just conversations about stuff being killed. Hey, look, there's an artillery built by Team 2's. Well, I think it was Fur who was building it, but BJ is the one that gets it. Unfortunately, it's not going to last much longer. And there goes a Monkey Lord sitting next to BJ's comm. Will BJ kill off the Monkey Lord? Yes, he will. Nuke is outbound. Once again, it's probably the YOLO. It is the YOLO. It fires once. Will it be the only time it fires at this point? Look at just the devastation on Team 2's side of the map. A whole chunk just gone. That's a nuke. That was a nuke, I believe. That was a nuke. That was a nuke. What else was a nuke? That was a nuke. Oh, SMD does shoot down the YOLO. Let me Billy everything, says Moistax. BJ, no. Looks like Moistax going after, or is being hunted by those Torp bombers by Team 2's BJ. And looks like he'll be fine. Oh, he's not fine. Oh, no, he's not fine. Nix is like, no, my ASF, why? Oof. It is a 4v1 game now. BJ gets a kill. And, I mean, that's going to be probably it for this game. But he did a very good job of, like, he found that commander. I don't know if it was just a spy plane that flew over or something. But he saw something in the water, thought it was a comm, thought it was something. Went after it and killed it. And there goes the YOLO. One SMD. Awasab bomber over the top of that base. Another SMD takes out. There he goes. Team 2's BJ gets killed out by Nix's. Actually, no. That was a control K before the bomb could actually fully explode there. But that is the game, folks, here. 46 minutes, 24 seconds on the clock. And Team 1 wins this game. And MVP for this game, I gotta give it to the thing that did the most damage in the entire game, which was the nuke from Moistax. I think the game would have, the game would have been probably a little bit different had Team 2's Furfur had his nuke actually launch on something. But Team 1's very clutch nuke coming in, takes out Team 2's nuke, takes out a decent amount of the land pressure here, takes out a base, takes out another chunk of a base, did a very good job of just doing damage on Team 2's side of the map. So Moistax gets the MVP for me in my book. Obviously, there's a little bit of a, not a disclaimer, but he just got wiped out by those Torp bombers there to the end. So obviously not the best look there, but again, when your nuke kills off 280,000 mass, you're allowed a little bit of lenience in regards to other things. But again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, shout out to the viewer who did send me this replay. I really do appreciate it. I do read my emails. So if you have a replay that you want me to take a look at, and maybe it'll be casted here on the channel, send it to strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com. Not only is it in the description of every single one of my FAF videos, it is also on my YouTube page. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next one.